On March 14th, 1879, an unusual baby was born to a family in Ulm, Germany. For starters, he had an unusually big head. It's a little larger than normal, but he looks fine to me.
Are you blind? It's huge. Oh, what if he's broken? What if he's never able to speak or think any intelligent thoughts?
The baby's mom really couldn't have been more wrong. Hi, I'm Albert Einstein, and this is my story. Ever since I could remember, my parents told me I was, well, different. For starters, I hated playing with other kids and always preferred to be alone. I also didn't speak until I was 4 years old. Then when I did speak, people would act as if I'd said something strange. Like one time, Mom invited her friend over for lunch and I had an important question for her. Your arms are so thin, your skin is almost see-through, but for some reason I can't see your bones, only the color of your veins.
Get your hands off me! Does your son have no manners?
Wait, I'm just curious. I wonder what would happen if I lit a candle and shone it close to you. Do you think I'd see anything beneath your skin?
You're not making any sense, Albert, and you're being rude. Sometimes I worry there's something wrong with him.
Mom sent me to my room then, and I didn't understand what I did wrong. I just asked a question. And as time passed, I really started getting into trouble. One day, when I was 15, I was in class and I was bored to death. And when my teacher, Mr. Windsor, asked us to work in pairs, I just snapped. So we have to solve. I'm not doing this. School is dumb and I'm not letting any teacher tell me what to do. But we have to do what the teacher says. No, I've got a better idea. I convinced the guy to steal Mr. Windsor's notes and bag when he wasn't looking and sneaked out of the classroom. We ran away from school to a nearby river where I tossed my teacher's notes. This'll teach him not to make us memorize stuff until our brain hurts. Throwing those notes away felt so freeing, but my happiness didn't last for long. Mom, Dad, our principal, and the police found us, and we were toast. Albert's behavior is completely unacceptable. This has gone on too long. He pulls pranks on teachers, never pays attention in class, and now he's stealing. This is the last straw, young man. I got suspended for a week, but when I got back to school, things took a wild turn. I was sitting in class when Mr. Windsor called to the chalkboard to solve a math problem. All right, Mr. Einstein, I have an equation that even you can't mess up. All you have to do is figure out. The answer is 9.27001 over 16. Mr. Windsor looked like he was having a stroke, and all the kids started whispering. God, what had I done now? Mr. Windsor grabbed his calculator and asked me again what the answer was and how I'd gotten it because, well, it was correct. I don't know, it just popped into my head. Mr. Windsor pulled me aside after class. I completely misjudged you. Young man, you have a gifted mind. This makes so much sense. All of this is too easy for you. You're probably bored to death. I'll move you up to an advanced class and we'll give you more difficult tests. You must develop this talent. Suddenly, something inside me burst. No, I don't want to do any of that. I can't take this anymore. I know you mean well, but I can't go on like this. I quit school. I'll teach myself all this stuff. That week, I dropped out of school and my parents were horrified. I was sure they thought I was a lost cause or crazy or both. So when I was 17, I left home and went straight to university for physics. It was time to put myself and my dreams first, no matter what anyone thought. On my first day, I was walking down the hallway when I ran into a group of guys pointing and laughing at something. Hey, what's going on? See that girl over there? She's in our class. I didn't know our university allowed chicks to even walk in here. Hey, princess, why don't you go back home to cook me dinner? I'll have potatoes with extra sausage. What a jerk. Before the boy could finish, I walked over to the girl. I know those guys are acting like pigs, but at the end of the day, they don't matter. When you look at the universe, you realize how small and unimportant each one of us is. This book talks about how the earth is like the size of a... Suddenly, the girl smacked the book out of my hand.
You have no idea what I'm going through. As if some dumb book will make me feel better about the fact that everyone's treating me like a freak.
The girl stormed off and I felt bad. I found later that her name was Mileva and the boys just wouldn't leave her alone. One morning, I saw Mileva studying in the library, and for some reason, I felt like sitting next to her. Need any help with your schoolwork?
Ugh, you again? You're everywhere. You're not following me, are you?
No, but for some reason, we keep running into each other. I also think we're a lot alike. People treat me like I'm a weirdo too, but I'm actually pretty cool and really smart.
And modest. If you're so smart, how come I'm ahead of you on the honors roll?
What was she talking about? I'd been number 1 in our class all semester, but Mileva led me to the school bulletin board, and she was the top of our class instead of me.
Congratulations, genius. You finally found someone smarter than you.
Mileva smirked at me and walked off, and I couldn't help feeling annoyed. But after that day, something changed between us. She invited me to do homework with her every day after school, and even asked our professor if we could be lab partners. She still teased me non-stop, but I just knew she didn't hate me as much as she pretended. Then one day, I got a letter from Dad saying Mom was sick and asked me to come home as soon as possible. And to my shock, Mileva said she'd come with me.
I know we have finals, but you shouldn't have to deal with this alone. I'll get on the next train with you.
Mileva hugged me, and I felt my heart race. When I arrived home, I went straight up to Mom's room, and she was happy to see me, especially with a girl. But Dad was furious. Albert, this is a family matter. Why did you bring this strange girl to the house all of a sudden? Dad, you don't have to be rude. She just came along for support. Well, whoever you are, you're wasting your time on my son because he's a nutcase who only ever thinks of himself. Wow. Now I remember why leaving home was the best decision ever. Tears stung my eyes as I stomped out of the room into the yard. Mileva followed me.
Albert, this was my fault. I shouldn't have invited myself to come with you. I just wanted to be there for you. I never wanted to cause any problems.
Are you kidding? You've been amazing. It's my dad who's acting like a jerk. But he is right about one thing. I do have issues, and you shouldn't waste your time on me.
Listen, I know I give you a tough time, but the truth is, you're the most brilliant and interesting guy I've ever met, and I want to take a chance on you.
Suddenly, Mileva leaned in and kissed me, and it felt like all the light in the universe filled in the space between us. After that, Mileva and I started dating, and I was on cloud 9 for the next 10 months. Then one morning, our professor called us to his desk, but Mileva wasn't in class. I didn't know why she hadn't come that day. Well, it's a shame she's not here. I have a rare opportunity. It's a research position at one of the most prestigious programs in the world, but only one of you can go. You both are equally gifted students, so I thought I should tell you both and you can decide between yourselves. I was speechless. What was I supposed to do? I told the professor I talked to Mileva, but he needed an answer right away. And so I decided to take the position. After school, I went over to Mileva's house with knots in my stomach. It turned out she was sick with a cold, and when I told her what happened, she was dead silent.
And you took the position? Just like that?
Mileva, I'm so sorry. I know a position like this would have been your dream too, but I wasn't given a chance to talk to you. I didn't have time.
Don't worry about it, Albert. I understand.
Mileva pulled me close, even though she was sick. We got married a year later and had children. We were happy, and I was thriving at my new research position, writing theses and making all kinds of discoveries in theoretical physics. But something had changed in my relationship with Mileva. There was something wrong between us, and I didn't know how to go about it. One night, I came home from work when I saw Mileva looking at me furious.
Where have you been, Albert?
I was at the university. I had to work an hour late. I'm sorry.
Well, you're never home, and I'm sick of it. You're off being a big-shot scientist, while I'm over here changing diapers.
I'm also off bringing home money for our family, and I always help you with everything when I get home. Mileva, do you want me to quit my job? What can I do differently? Mileva just fell silent. It was so obvious she was jealous of my success, and I didn't know how to help her. I tried taking her to the lab with me and watching the kids more, and even tried including Mileva in my research. But one day, Mileva dropped a bombshell on me.
I love you, Albert, but I can't do this. I'm not happy with you anymore. I want a divorce.
But why? Are you just going to resent me forever? I thought you wanted me to follow my dreams, and I'm not stopping you from following yours.
You stopped me the moment you took that job opportunity in university. I know it's in the past, and I don't want to keep resenting you. I want to remember why I fell in love with you and always see you that way. You're brilliant, Albert, and we shouldn't hold each other back anymore.
I pulled Mileva close as tears filled my eyes. That following month, we filed for divorce, and just like that, everything changed, and I didn't know what would happen next. One night, I was on the train and trying to fall asleep, but this girl kept walking up and down the aisles and singing loudly while she tossed a ball up and down. Hey, kid, can you quiet down? Some of us are trying to sleep.
You're not my dad, so you can't tell me what to do.
Well, lucky for the both of us, this is my stop. I stormed off the train, grateful to get away from that brat. But as the train rode away, I saw something strange. The girl was still tossing the ball up and down, but it looked like it was moving faster and faster. And suddenly, the wheels in my mind were racing like crazy. Time moved faster when I was off the train. That was why the ball looked like it was moving slower when I was on the train. The next few months, I continued doing research, and to my amazement, my theory of relativity was proved correct. I won the Nobel Prize for Physics that year, and after that, it seemed like everyone wanted to hear what I had to say. How does it feel to make this groundbreaking discovery, Mr. Einstein? This is a historic moment, and you're a legend. I was on the front cover of every newspaper that week, and I folded a picture and sent it in an envelope to someone special, along with a letter. Dear Mileva, I finally did it. I found answers to all those questions I've been asking myself all these years about time and space and the universe. I want you to know that I couldn't have done it without you. I'm in a good place now. I'm married to an amazing woman and, well, I had my dreams come true. Even though things didn't work out between us, I never look back at the time we had with regret. I hope you're happier now. I hope you're still curious about the world and that you learn something new about it each day. Remember me like this always, and thank you for believing in me. Yours truly, Albert Einstein.